reach the recognition that you are not seeing consistent client growth and the actions you're taking simply aren't getting you to where you go and where you want to be, you might be in the place of saying, I think it's time to look at getting help. And so today on our episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message, I'm going to give you 3 things to look for when you are considering retaining a business mentor or a business coach. I hope that you will find this hugely valuable to get the help, because ultimately it is a great accelerator. Modeling other people who are further along your journey. It's one of the best business hacks I know. It's why I personally invest in masterminds and coaches, and I invite you to do the same. So let's take a look at the 3 most important considerations when you are looking to retain support. The first is that I want you to look for people in business that are someone you admire and respect in both the way they craft their business and the success they have achieved, but also the lifestyle that they are building around the business. Because so often it's easy to identify people who are succeeding in business, but the moment you look below the surface, their home life might not be what you are seeking. They're working 24/7. They don't have great personal relationships, friendships, wife or husband and family. And if that's not something that is optional for you, then you need to seek another mentor. Because one of the things that I always tell my clients, and I'm very clear from the very beginning, what is the life you want? I know how to create the business, but what is the balance of life that you want, so that we can craft the business model, the type of clients, and really the success path to live life on your own terms, because it isn't just an aspiration. We need to build a strategy to make it the reality. So that's tip number 1. Look for someone you admire and trust, both from the business side as well as the personal and lifestyle that you seek. Number 2 is it's really important to find mentors that are open about not just their winning season. It's so easy, especially with social media, to see the highlight reel when things are great, when launches are amazing, when they're having huge numbers of revenue in their business. However, I want to know, when you're looking for these people, are you seeing the tough seasons being talked about? Because I will tell you, in business, having helped more than 400 businesses and created billions of revenue in dollars, it's not always a winning season. There are going to be tough economic climbs. There's going to be decisions that are tough that mean both retaining and firing people. There's going to be legal battles along the way. There's going to be up and down. What's really important when you have a mentor in your life is that someone will help you in the difficult periods, not just build to success. Because when difficulty happens, you should be looking for a mentor who's self-aware that they have contributed sometimes to that problem, the awareness to bridge the gap, and then to talk about the lessons learned and to correct the behaviors and move through the cycles of up and down. And so this one's a really important one. Look beyond the highlight reel, because truly the best value for a mentor is not just when things are well. In fact, truly, from my perspective, it's when the SHIT hits the fan. That's where I know my biggest value has been in terms of ROI with my mentors, has been when I've had a crisis and I need a thinking partner to help me work through it, because my emotions are high and they can bring a sense of reason, experience to the table. And I really want to know somebody who's climbed out of a problem, not just said, well, everything was smooth sailing, because truthfully, that isn't going to help you long term. Number 3 is the importance of being able to observe them walking their talk. They should be the best example of the philosophies that they mentor and speak around, and you should be easily able to identify it. It's important to find a mentor who is continuing to evolve, continuing to invest in their own mastermind training and courses. Why? Because you're going to be moving and accelerating as the mentee, and you want a mentor who is going to be doing the same thing, because you benefit so much from the trickle-down effect. And this is something that I will tell you my clients talk about all the time, because they know me personally. I am in masterminds. I am investing in new training. I am bringing new things and revenue streams into my business. And they have the opportunity as a client of mine to talk about that and benefit from the investments that I'm making, even though they didn't know that was going to be a spillover effect when they maybe have started their contract with me. So be sure that they're walking their talk. This is such an important thing because the inner circle that you choose, which is going to be your mentor, is really important. You want to be in new rooms, challenging yourself and stepping up. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Working with a mentor isn't all rainbows and unicorns. They're going to hold the line, help you hold your vision, ask some tough questions, and stay with you to help you figure out and then build an action plan to get where you are seeking to go, those ultimate results in your business. Once you've decided it's time, I want you to be thinking about mentorship from a long-term perspective, because that's where you will see both, of course, wins in the short term, the confidence that comes with having a thinking partner and being able to make decisions more quickly and better caliber of conversations and decisions. What's important, though, is to recognize that too often I see in the business world, particularly business coaches, saying, my programs are 3 weeks, my programs are 6 months. And I will tell you, yes, while I do offer a 6 months program, most of my clients who buy in at that level of investment roll over, because the long-term ROI is performing at such a rate. They're like, I am seeing continuation, but it is a more expensive path. More often than not, the better path economically is to commit to the year, because I know you can't identify, build, evaluate, and continue to roll that pattern around enough over 6 months to really see the best ROI, even though you're going to see short-term wins. So I want you to think about it as a long-term relationship. And like any long-term partnership, you need to be asking yourself through conversations and through your own instinct and observations, are they credible? Are they capable? Do they have multiple strategies, experience in good and bad times? Are they leading in the marketplace today? And do you see them committed to their business long-term? And I think most importantly, do you feel comfortable in their space? Maybe a little rattled, but comfortable to say, honestly, this is where I don't understand. This is where I feel scared. This is where I have uncertainty, because that is really important. A relationship where you sit in the back row isn't going to give you the much ROI as if you were sitting front row. So I want you to think about that as you're evaluating alternates. You can certainly start by beginning to look at your network and asking around. Who do you work with? Do you have a business mentor or coach? Why did you choose them? What do you work on? What has been the greatest return so far? Where do you see the gaps that you might not be seeing the results you'd hope for? When you have given that name, I want you to recognize two things. Just because it's the right mentor for someone doesn't make it the right mentor for you. In order to really assess that, you want to take the second step, which is have a conversation, and potentially multiple conversations. Multiple conversations to see, is this person the right fit for you? And you making your own assessment based on what you need and what you feel they have to offer in terms of value. In terms of my own business, what I tell my clients is twofold. I offer 2 types of business mentorship. I offer the high touch, high result, one-to-one mentorship. It's called the Business Scale Accelerator one-to-one mentorship program. And under that, we take you through a 5 foundation pillar over a period of time. Most clients, I said, come in for a year, but some do come in for 6 months. And many of those 6 months clients roll over and stay a year or longer. We start with the fundamentals, identifying the gaps of your audience building, your messaging, and your offers. And depending on how many gaps you have, I said to my clients, if you know that there's more than one gap, then you should commit to the year to start with, because simply we won't cover multiple gaps and have confidence and results in a short period of time, because business takes time to plant the seeds organically. So we start, though, with foundations. The second piece of the puzzle is we got to communicate the clarity around those foundations. Thirdly, we need to accelerate the activity level, because business is built over patterns and repeated actions over time. We then continue constantly to evaluate what is not working. Having a business coach such as myself that has a lot of different strategies, a lot of different industry experience, and experience in marketing, sales, operations, finance, and HR will know how to pull the pieces together and stop doing strategies which are not suiting your style, not suiting your audience, and not creating results, so that we stop wasting efforts, because it is not one size fits all. And that's one of the advantages I have as a mentor versus other business coaches. The fifth key pillar that we take through is amplify the strategies that are working. We actually make things simple. You've heard me say it before here on Amplify Your Marketing Message. Business growth can be elegantly simple when you know what to focus on. We build these 5 pillars over a period of time. We constantly iterate, adjust, execute, iterate, adjust, execute, so that you can see predictable client success, not just once, but repeatedly. And that's where the exponential ROI of a mentor should be off the charts. And I know with my clients, it is consistently. And you can ask them for that information and chat with them, because they would be happy to give you their experience working with me. But if you're not ready for the high touch, high one-to-one mentorship program, there is an alternate. I do offer a business group coaching program, and it really is a smaller taster of what you will see in the one-to-one. I always do it in small groups, and I do it a couple of times a year. It's 8 weeks in length, and what we're really focusing is on one of the pillars. We're looking at the so what factors, because where most of the people come into the group program is with the resounding question over and over in their head. It says, I don't know how to find clients. I said, well, in order to find clients, you need to be standing out from the sea of sameness. There are 3 things that you need to do to get clear to stand out from the sea of sameness. And that's what we tackle in those 8 weeks. We look at why you are even choosing to be in business. You've got to talk about your why story confidently. You got to share the story that you're not prepared to share right now, because it is the thing that will start movement. Number 2, we get really deep into what does the problem cost your potential client, so that we can figure out how is the intersection point in their life happening, and when are they ready to get drawing that line in the sand and moving across the gap, because that is where your business has to be visible. And the third thing that we do is we get really clear on why you. Why are you the must-hire choice? And this is very much a clarity exercise. I said it takes place over 8 weeks, so that you can start to distill the roadmap, which is going to be the second piece of the puzzle, which we often will bring people from the group into the one-to-one, because you've done the work first. I said that 8-week group program is not offered every time. It's not an evergreen program. It offers a start date. And so I want to encourage you to come visit my website, www.christinecampbellrapin.com. It will be in the show notes down below, and explore both the one-to-one high-touch, high-result strategy or the pathway of the group program, because there will be a date available for you to join, to come into that group if it suits your calendar and that feels like the right next step for you. In today's episode, though, we've talked about what to look for when you are ready to hire a mentor. I want to recap it, because this is such an important decision, and it is the ultimate accelerator in your business. When you are done struggling and ready to amplify, you want to look for who can you admire and trust from a lifestyle and business perspective, who is actively talking about the highs and the lows, and really evaluate how they pick themselves up from some major setbacks, because that is going to be where your thinking partner is going to be the most valuable for you in your business journey. And 3, can you observe them walking and embodying the lessons, the philosophies, and the structure of their programs in their own business? This is a long-term investment to see the best ROI, and it is not just client growth. It is the embodiment of confidence, staying in the movement, and having fun thinking and making better decisions together to help you create the result predictably over and over and over again. And that's what I offer my clients. I hope this has been a valuable episode. Be sure to subscribe to Amplify Your Marketing Message and get in touch. If you are looking for some support, we'd love to support you and have that conversation. And you will note that I don't have the ability for people to go onto the website and become a one-to-one client. You must actually have a conversation with me. We have to figure out if it's the right fit, because I choose my clients carefully, and I would love to have the conversation to see if you are a fit for me and I am a fit for you. I am Christine Campbell Rapin. This has been Amplify Your Marketing Message. We will see you on our next episode. Take care. We'll see you soon.